Hi, this is Linda with Ink Stamp and Scrap. Thanks for joining me. We're going to get to making these two cards. All right, let's get started. I have a mess of materials here, but this is what we're going to need to make the card. So let me go through all this stuff real quick. I have my Misty Moonlight 1/4 inch, what are we calling this? Trim, ribbon, anyway, cotton, probably. Nope, it doesn't even say that. Okay, but anyway, 1/4 inch trim. Misty Moonlight ink pad. I have my Flowers for Every Season paper share stack from the Flowers for Every Season 6-inch pack of paper. I have a little bit of grid paper and my stamp mat. I have a 8.5 by 11 Whisper White. One of my top 10 favorites in the new catalog, Happiest of Birthdays, takes care of lots of birthday cards for you. I have a sheet of Misty Moonlight cardstock, and then I have my Stamparatus and my trimmer. I think that's all I need for now. In my drawer off camera a little bit, I have scissors and Stamp and Seal and my stamp cleaner, so that should get us through the whole project. So let's start with trimming our papers. Of course, I just stacked a bunch of stuff on the papers, so we'll have to rearrange that, but let's see. Let's go this way. I'm gonna pick my Designer Series paper and cut that, but first we need the trimmer the right way, and I'm gonna cut my card base. I'm gonna make 2 cards, so I am ready for 2 upcoming birthdays. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and move that up a little bit so I can score it. So I've now cut this 11 by 4 1/4, and now I'm going to score it at 5 1/2. Oops, grabbed a dimensional backing somehow. Okay, and here we go. So I'm recording this video in our new house in my new stamp room. And I'm so excited to give you guys a tour. That will be happening later this week. So make sure you're following me on Instagram. That's where I'm going to put it up. My handle on Instagram is Ink Stamp and Scrap. So there I have my 2 cards ready to go. I'm gonna use my bone folder real quick and just make sure they're nice and tight. That will be coming out on Thursday. I'm going to put it up on IGTV. It'll be my first IGTV, so I'm kind of excited about that. All right, let's pick. I really like this, but then there's that. Oh, there's some good ones here. Sunflowers are always fun. I think there's probably flowers on the other side here. That doesn't really have quite enough blue to it. What's this one? No, definitely not. Okay, so I'm down to these 2. I think I like this one. Just need a little more green. So that's the one we're gonna go with today. If you watched my last YouTube video, you saw, I actually posted on Facebook too, you saw my little hack for cutting this down. So I cut it to 3, actually let me make sure you can see this. I cut it to 3 3/4 and 6. And this gives me a strip for one card and a base, like a big cover for the other card. And then I'm going to get 2 1/4 inch strips to put inside each of the cards. So there's a 1/4 inch strip, and there's a 1/4 inch strip, and actually I can get more because that is not 5 yet. So I think I should have gotten a 1/2 inch strip. One of the cards is going to get a little slided. Oh well. We're going to just roll with it. So you can do 2 1/2 inch strips or 2 1/2 inch strips or 4 1/4 or any combination of that. You have an inch left over is the basic gist of it. All right, so I'm going to actually add my papers because I know that my stamp layer is just going to go on top. So I'm going to go ahead and add my papers now and just take care of it. I absolutely adore my Stampin' Seal. I kind of waited to put my top 10 out on my blog that came out yesterday. Oh, this is Stampin' Seal Plus. You know how I can tell? Let me see if you can see this. So I grabbed I grabbed the wrong one. I don't need this for a card. Can you see the lines in the adhesive? That's how you know. I mean, you can also tell from the name on, let me get this up here, the name on the, there we go, the name on the outside of the container, but there's also lines when you put it down in the adhesive. Let's see if I can, yeah, I think you can see those. Okay, so we're gonna switch real quick, but I was starting to say, and I am happy with the Stampin' Seal Plus too, but I am really thrilled with Stampin' Seal and the way that it works with cards. I'm happy the way it lays down. I still kind of have the check mentality that we used to have to use with Fast Fuse. You definitely don't need it, but I just still kind of pull a little bit to the right just to make sure. So now I'm going to put this right at the top. Actually, I need to go this way so I can see it towards me. Make sure it's even at the top. So to do my do I like it, does it really work test, what I did is I actually used Stampin' Seal to put 2 pieces of cardstock together, and then I just left it for about 10 minutes because I wanted it to have a chance to really grip. And then I tried to pull it apart, and guess what? I couldn't. I mean, I probably could have if I really would have ripped at it, but I pulled on it way harder than any card should ever have to hold, and nothing happened. So that was my litmus test for this, and I am very happy with both products at this point. All right. One thing I did on some of other cards that I've used with this layout is I did put some Whisper White behind this. I feel like this has enough variation in color that I probably don't need it to stand out. Do I like it that way? I think I like it this way better. Okay. It's one of those patterns that doesn't really have a correct way, but you know, it's just personal preference. There we go. Okay. So now my designer series paper is on each card. Now we're going to get our, oh, there we go. Now we're going to get, let's get our bow done. I'm not doing this in any particular order. I'm just gonna stamp last. So I need to get, I love that Stampin' Up! Seals their ribbons so well that when they come to you, they're all, you literally get to use the entire spool. But sometimes that little piece of cellophane really fights me. All right, I need my 10-second bow maker. If you're like me and you struggle with bows, this is the best. I'll link to it. If you're watching, talking and tying. Okay, I'll make sure I link to it so that you can get your own. It's the best. There we go. All right. So we need 2 bows because we have 2 cards. I'm gonna make a smaller one this time. Not really to conserve ribbon. I'm just thinking that on the one with less cardstock, I might want, or less designer series paper, I might want a smaller bow. All right. And that way you can see the 2 and decide what you like. Okay, there we go. All right. So I don't know what you guys are up to, but Wednesday night, July 1st, I will be live on my Facebook page doing a Stampin' workshop. So if you want to join me for that, it's at 7 o'clock Eastern time. I'd love to have you. What am I doing here? I'm gonna, I need to cut this down. Okay, hold on. We're going to do 2 cards in a project, and they'll have, I'm gonna use the same bundle for all of them. And when you tune in, you'll find out what bundle that is. I'm not keeping it a secret. I just haven't decided yet. That's this afternoon's project. So once I know, I'll be happy to share. All right, let's get this the way it needs to be. Now, when I cut my cardstock, I like to cut it tight around whatever stamp I'm using. All right, so the way that I measure this is I put my stamp right here in the corner. You do have the 7s in this corner, so you have to do a little extra math, but 3 over is more than gives you enough space, and then 3.5 up gives you enough space around this stamp. So that's what how I'm going to cut my Whisper White cardstock, 3 by 3.5. We'll just leave that over there for a moment, and we'll bring the trimmer back in. 3 by 3.5, which means I can get the 2 on this side. So I'm gonna do 3 by 3, and if you join me later in the week on Instagram for my tour of my stamp room, you will, oops, 3 by 3.5. You will see where I put all these extra pieces. I have a system that I have used for years. I started it when I was living in Connecticut, and I haven't wavered from it here. It just works for me, so I will share that with you on my tour. All right, so now another couple habits I've developed. I like that corner. I don't like being over this far in the Stamparatus. I like being right there. So that's the corner that I'm used to using. I'm going to put my stamp down on my cardstock. I need to pull that back a little. I also, when I do this, I did that on purpose because I want to make sure that I know how far in I can go with the magnet to make sure that my paper stays there. And I'm happy with that. So I'm going to stamp from the right. I'm going to put this in, come down, pick it up, move it over. We have our second one. I'm going to open up my ink pad. Oh, it has a little bit of white on it. I'm just going to grab my snips. You just need something sharp. You can grab a paper piercer. You can grab anything. When I have lint on, I just know it's eventually going to like make a mark, and I don't want that. So, and then I just clean my scissors off. I always have these towels around my scrap room. I usually go through at least one a day. All right, so we're going to ink this up. Sorry for the camera shake. And bring it over, stamp it down. Stamp it one more time because the first P in happiest doesn't look quite as good as I want it to. So we're gonna go back and just push right where it didn't go so well. Oh, maybe one more time. Come on. What is up with that? Now I know there's, wait, maybe not. Okay, there's definitely ink there. There we go. Okay, so third time's a charm. All right, so that's one done. Now it's okay that I lifted the magnet all the way because I know this is my corner that I'm going back to. And I do recommend you get a favorite spot. I mean, some people like to be down here, wherever your favorite spot is when you're using the Stamparatus, but it does make your life easier if you start getting into the habit of lining your stamps up in the same kind of place. Just makes it easier. So there we go. Walk around. Oh, see, so much better. Don't even, do I want to do that one more time? No, you know what? I'm happy with it. Let's just call it a day. There we go. All right, and then I need to clean that off. So the way I clean my stamps when I'm using my Stamparatus is I just take my cloth. Like I said, I have like 5 or 6 of these in my stamp room at any one time, and they just go through the laundry and come back. And then after I get the excess ink off, that's when I take my Stampin' Chamois, which I have cut into 2 pieces and keep here. And then I just clean the excess off with that. The reason that I cut this one down is it just stores a little easier in the drawer I have by where I videotape, where when you see the rest of my stamp room, you'll see that I work on a big long table, and over there I have a full Simply Chamois that I use to clean up. So now we're going to close all this. If you've been watching me for a while, can you tell I'm trying to get into the habit of cleaning up as I go, because I tend to lose things. So we're gonna see if I can do a whole video and not misplace anything. That would be pretty amazing and exciting. All right, so I have my 2 card bases with the cardstock or the designer series paper already on them. I have my 2 bows, and now I have my 2 greetings, and we are ready to go. Oh, you know what? I'm thinking that I need the white on the inside. So we're gonna grab this back. That's what I forgot. Okay. So yeah, I'm just gonna go right on top here real quick. So I need 2 that are, oh, see, I did get ink even though I tried not to. Okay, so I need 2 that are 4 by 5 1/4. I'm gonna go this way first to maximize my scrap. So 5 1/4 first. So I have that big piece still left. Remember, I can flip this over. It's just going to the inside of the card. So then I'm gonna cut that 4, and I'm gonna cut this to 4. All right, so now we'll set those scraps aside. Okay, so let's grab our Stampin' Dimensionals, and we're gonna put these 2 on. Did you see in the new catalog that there are foam sheets? So you get like, it's like a sheet of dimensional, which is really cool. If you like to do what I'm doing right now and pop up the whole layer, that's something to consider. It's also great for die cutting. You could put your cardstock on that foam sheet and cut it out and then die cut it, and you would instantly have an element for your project that is already ready to pop up. So there's all sorts of things. And you know, that would be especially helpful on those very detailed dies where it's really hard to get a dimensional like in certain spots. So I'm excited to use those. They are coming in my next order, or otherwise I would show them to you right now. But I have seen many people use them, and they did make my top 10 because I just understand their value, and I think I'm gonna get a lot of use out of them. All right. You know the other thing that's crazy about this week? So Stampin' Up! Is in a transitional year. They are changing the calendar of catalogs. We do this every once in a while. This is my 20th year with Stampin' Up! So I have seen many a different cycle. And because this is a transition year, we are gonna get the holiday catalog like in no time. So the way that's gonna work is tomorrow, July 1st, I'm gonna be able to see the holiday catalog. Now we need to get the bows on, so let's get that. I have my glue dots, and I think I might end up doing a little more with the glue dots. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know if this is gonna, maybe. Gonna lay down okay? No, I think I'm gonna need, sometimes I like to just add a glue dot there just to make it go where I want it to go. So I am going to take this, and right here, sometimes I grab a paper piercer, and I might have, yeah, I have to. That is not a good angle. Okay, so I have my take your pick tool. I always call it the take it up tool. If you're new to watching me, get used to me doing that. All right, here we go. I'm just gonna add that right there. and then move it over to where it's kind of natural. And then I'm going to pull this one down a little bit, and then I'll just trim it off. So we'll get one more of these. And I'm going to put it a little farther up. And then the last one, if it's going to stay. There we go. And then just going to bring that there. Ooh. Okay. All right, and then I need my ribbon scissors to just, there we go, to trim that. All right, so I'm happy with that card. And now we're just going to, oh, not happy with that. All right, well, I'll finish this because I want you to see that. But I will not be sending this card. I'll pull off the bow and make one more greeting. I won't bore you with that. You're just here to see how it all kind of comes together. That's a bummer. All right, I'm still getting used to the humidity of Florida and how it affects my stamping. I'll learn. All right. All right, so there we go. 2 cards, one set of products. Oh wait, time out. Nope, not 2 cards yet. Because I'm gonna just, I don't know what I'm gonna do with that one. I'm gonna figure it out though. Because I don't want it all to go to waste. So what I'm probably gonna do is just pull the top of the bow back and put another greeting right on top. So we're gonna go here. I'm gonna use the big scrap because I have a big spot to cover there. I don't want to get adhesive. There we go. I don't want to get adhesive on my mat here, so I'm gonna put this on the paper. And then we'll just put this right here. Covers it up nice. There we go. And then we'll do the same. Oh my goodness, I had blue okay, this is fine. I must have blue on my finger somewhere. All right, this one, I'm just gonna put all the blue in the back. So it's pretty white front. And then I'm going to use glue dots for this one because it's so narrow. So we use 4 across just to make sure it lays nicely because it's paper and the glue dot does give a little, like the tiniest bit of lift, but if I only just did 3, you'd really see the 1 right in the middle. And I don't want to do that. So now we're just going to go across here. There we go. All right, now 2 cards, 1 set of materials, and I'll fix that before I put this up on my blog. Hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching.